Hi everyone, it's Fitz with your daily delivery. I hope you're doing well. I am very good. We just wrapped up an edition of the PowerCat podcast, but you should know that it went up on YouTube at midnight. Should be on GoPowercat at midnight too. It's going to be a fun day at GoPowercat, but aren't they all? I'm serious. Make sure you're subscribing to GoPowercat. If you're not, please go over there and sign up, be a VIP, get to ask the questions on the PowerCat podcast. And today we're going to talk about Kansas State basketball and how Jerome Tang and his coaches have done a marvelous job, not only filling the roster from a recruiting standpoint, but finding incredible balance. First, your reminders, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the thumbs up, leave those comments. I appreciate all of your ongoing support. And we are sponsored by Mailreg Golf Clothing. It's golf season, guys. You need some polos. You probably want some inexpensive polos. So go check it out at mailreg.com. Use the code LifeOfFit for 10% off. You are going to love these shirts, particularly the printed or striped polos. I love them. The guys love them. There's pullovers. It's awesome. Just go check it out. Just go look at it for my sake and check out the prices. Believe me, it's worth every penny. There's not many pennies spent. Did I say that right? On with the DD. Hey, so we all know Jerome Tang's staff really finished with the flurry. Coleman Hawkins finishing off this class was absolutely incredible what it did for K-State, the outlook for next season, and also maybe the perception of the program moving ahead. We talk about that a little bit on the podcast, but today I want to talk about the maybe unintended or maybe brilliantly planned balance they found. Did you know that the roster for next season of the 13 scholarship players, there's one freshman in David Castillo, and then there's 4 seniors, 4 juniors, and 4 sophomores. It's perfect balance from that standpoint. And we know this about college basketball now, that it's an old man's game. The older you are, the better you are, quite typically. But also, Jerome Tang's program has gone through a reset of sorts, trying to settle into what its identity will be. And I think this roster really will reflect the kind of players he wants in Manhattan for the future. Long, athletic, dynamic type players. Pretty much what they had at Baylor during their best years. And I think he's now zeroed in on that. But the most important part of this recruiting class is it's done. The first two, naturally with the rebuild after taking over 2 years ago, and then last season, they didn't wrap up these classes until August. They got these done, this roster filled in mid-June. And why is that important? Is now as July rolls in, starting with the Peach Jam and other tournaments happening around the country, Kansas State staff can roll into those knowing they're set for 24-25 and looking for some young talent. And maybe this will be the moment when they can shift gears away from total reliance on the transfer portal and start feeding in some younger players. Maybe the junior, sophomore, and freshman classes can mostly be held together in the future by Tang staff. And that NIL money, if Coleman Hawkins is really getting $2 million, that means that'll be freed up for next year. Can focus on that one extra player or 2 extra players you need for your roster to get you over the top, and also to maintain the players you absolutely don't want to lose off of this roster. This is an opportunity to kind of grow some stability. And let's also be honest, I can't imagine being a basketball coach and having to reset, with 10 of your 13 scholarships every year. It would be exhausting. It would be burnout city for me. And now maybe they can turn their attention to those young players and leverage that Coleman Hawkins splash that sent a message to the nation. K-State's playing big time ball, certainly in recruiting and maybe on the court too. You want to come to Manhattan and play, and that coaching staff will be fun to play for. We'll see what they do, but this could be the moment when K-State basketball starts to put down roots and decides they're one of the big boys.